What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Clippers fans will be definitely happy to hear this. Kawhi Leonard is definitely in preparations of his offseason full workouts. He's looking very, very, healthy. Very alive in regards to just body fit and, his gameplay so far. Working out with a coach that he's known since AAU days, Clint Parks. Clint Parks is definitely a coach that has worked with multiple, NBA players, young NBA players, doesn't matter who. But just to name a few, Ben McLemore was one of them, and, Kyle Kuzma's another one. He definitely has respect from a lot of players, though, around the league and stuff like that. Some of his workout regimens definitely has helped, those players along with Kawhi Leonard and other players, basically just, helping the players get a feel for the game by doing the basics, getting back to the basics. Because sometimes that's what it takes. Getting back to the basics is very, very pivotal in regards to recovery, in regards to, upping your game more and just, seeing the game from a different light in regards to, getting back to the basics sometime actually helps you filter out some of the mistakes that or some of the errors you think you have in your game to help you improve them too. So, it's a lot that goes into that, and seeing Kawhi getting a full, good workout in, recovering from his ACL, fully, it's starting to look like, and, his workouts are starting to get even more extensive, no matter whether it's with the Clippers and the workout with them or workout with other people, his workouts are becoming more extensive, and he's really working on building himself back into the player that he was to be even better than he was possibly, which is, scary for the league, I would say. But it's definitely a good sign for the Clippers and Clippers Nation. Definitely got to be happy by that because, Kawhi Leonard has started in this league as a defender, and he came in this league as a defender only. He didn't come in this league as a scorer. He didn't come in the league as somebody who can drop 25 points a game easily and, don't even, whiff about it. He came into the league one-dimensionally, and now he's made his game more versatile than ever, and he's, highly respected by his peers simply because of what he did. He didn't come in one way and he came out another way. He came out more to the good, a better player. And a lot of people might say Kawhi Leonard is a better player in the NBA than he was in college. And that's very, very feasible if somebody thinks that, because when you look at him overall and what he's amounted to now in his career based upon the way he came into the NBA, it's a milestone difference. And, you gotta be, you gotta be proud of this guy in regards to what he did. And, seeing him go out with an ACL injury, when he was about to lead the Clippers to a championship, I believe, definitely was disheartening. But at the same time, this right here, I think will, change some of that in regards to just seeing, hearing that he has the opportunity to get back to how he was, or maybe even be a little bit better than what he was before he went out. That's definitely exciting news, not for just, Clippers fans, but just for the NBA world in its own. Because like I said, the NBA is better when Kawhi Leonard's there. The NBA is better when when everybody's healthy. It really is, I don't care what player it is, it does matter which player it is, because, the superstars, you definitely want to see them. You pay to come see those players more than anybody. So the superstars matter, but it also matters about other players too, role players, certain role players who, really make a difference for a team and things like that. So, that definitely matters as well. But, seeing players, superstar players, you definitely don't want to see them hurt, because they make up so much of the game in regards to how they play and, the way they actually, go about, being the superstar they are on a nightly basis. It really, brings joy to the game, you know what I'm saying? So when you see a player like Kawhi out, it really is mind-boggling, because you want to see the best competition play against each other. You don't want to see like, a Lakers team without LeBron, Kawhi Leonard, and Anthony Davis play against one another. I mean, it's cool if that does happen because, it's just the way it is. But of course, you want to see everybody healthy, though, because it makes the situation so much more, valuable in regards to watching the game and wanting to see your favorites go against each other to see who's the best, you see. So I definitely can't wait to see, Kawhi Leonard step back on the court. I want to see what he looks like. Of course, there's going to be some rust there only because, like I said, he's been out for a while, and rightfully so, he's been out, and I'm glad that he took some time off to really, to better his health and everything like that, because I feel like Kawhi Leonard could have came back a little bit early. I just didn't think that it made no sense because a lot of people were trying to initiate that, he could have came back a little bit earlier, or he was planning to come back a little bit earlier than what was expected. But, Marcus Morris said one time in an interview this past season, when they were talking about Kawhi Leonard, he just basically said in an interview, Kawhi, take your time. ACLs is nothing to play with. That's one of those type injuries where some players, don't come back the same, because of their mental and just for the dynamic of, what they have to go through in regards to, the rehab and everything like that. So, I mean, it's good to see, Kawhi Leonard, getting his footing back under him. Of course, when he comes into a real game, real NBA game, like I said, his rhythm's going to be off a little bit. But, maybe for the first few weeks of the season, I suspect. And then maybe like after a month or something like that, then you'll see Kawhi Leonard, pick up back to kind of like where he was and, start, playing the game that we know he can and dominate and going out there being the player we know he could be. Because like I said, Kawhi Leonard knows more than anybody. It's championship or bust for this team. It's almost as if this team, has won multiple championships and is expected to win. You see what I'm saying? Not saying they did because they didn't, but it's almost as if they're playing with that type of chip on their shoulder because the expectation is so high for the Clippers. Because when you look at this team, they would have been together like 4 years, and they've had time to understand each other, build chemistry and all those things, and it still hasn't happened yet. Now, injury, of course, is the reason why, but at the same time, everybody gets injured. You got to find a way. You see what I'm saying? And Kawhi knows that more than anybody. And this year, he's definitely looking for some redemption. And this year, he's definitely looking to, appeal to the Clippers fans by bringing them home a championship, as much as he can, along with the rest of the crew of the Clippers, because they definitely have a deep team. And I definitely like their chances going into this next season. There's going to be some challenges. There's going to be some dips along the way, but it doesn't matter. The Clippers are really prepared and built for everything. You got a good coach. You got, in most people's minds, you got a top 5 player. I always say he's the best player in the league if you ask me, but you got top 10, top 15 player in Paul George. You got good role players. You got a good foundation with, Ty Lue being the head of everything in regards to, getting these players in the right position to be the best they can be. You got good role players even on the bench that are used to playing pretty, big games or meaningful games, because without Kawhi Leonard and PG being there most of the season, they had time to develop and kind of figure out, what they can do to implement, or bring to the game or bring to this team that could help them win. Even some of the rookies, the younger guys like the Brandon Boston Juniors and players like that, Amir Comfies and, Xavier Moon and those type players that, you had players throughout the season who, played meaningful games, and they definitely, are starting to pick it up even more. So, I mean, with the understanding of what the Clippers are trying to do, and, having Kawhi come back and seeing him come back being healthy is definitely going to be a good sight for Clippers fans. Definitely, we hope that he stays healthy and don't go through an injury like that no more, and be able to, carry the team, help carry the team, because like I said, this is the year for them to do it, or next year is the year for them to do it. And we'll just have to see if it actually comes true. But I mean, it definitely is a great possibility if this guy stays healthy, because he's definitely a cerebral assassin, and a lot of people respect Kawhi Leonard, even though he doesn't talk much, but they respect what he does because he goes out there and lay it all out on the line. He may take games off during the regular season season and all that stuff. But when it comes to the playoffs, he's probably the best playoff performer we've ever seen in regards to winning percentages and, just going out there, performing, doing what he does best. You know what I'm saying? Going out there, being a Terminator, shooting stuff, killing people with the jumper, annihilating, disrupting things on defense. This is who he is, and this is who we know of him as, and this is why we respect him so much as a player, because of what he can do on both ends of the court. I don't think nobody in the NBA is better on both ends of the court than Kawhi Leonard. You can say a lot of names if you want to, but they don't amount up to Kawhi Leonard, because he has led teams. He has been on championship teams where he has led the charge for a stint, a full season. When he was on the Spurs, when they won the championship, it was because of him they won the championship more so than anything, because he was the Finals MVP. He knocked down the biggest shots. He guarded LeBron James with no fear. LeBron had a worse shooting percentage the several possessions that Kawhi was guarded by him. And Kawhi pretty much owns LeBron James career-wise. I mean, I think he's 8 and 5, or I forgot the number now. Don't quote me on that. Don't at me on that. But, he pretty much owned LeBron James. He's always been LeBron's kryptonite. Everybody knows that. And on top of that, he's the only player in the NBA that a lot of players fear because of what he can do on both ends of the court. He's not one-dimensional anymore. Now he's more versatile than ever. And he's definitely, one of the top players that's ever played this game. And there's a reason why he's a top 75 player as well. So we got to respect that, and we got to respect everything he's done. But we got to also see, what he can do going forward and how he's going to be. And this offseason is just a preparation, towards what we're going to see from him going forward. And I definitely hope that he stays healthy. And the signs are looking good right now. Hopefully take it into next season, see what the Clippers can get out of it. Bare minimum, hopefully they can at least make the finals. And at max, win it, of course. So, I mean, that's the goal, and that's what we're all looking forward to. And we definitely want to see Kawhi Leonard back and healthy and seeing him out there more than anything. The championships are great, but you definitely want to see the player out there being healthy and having fun once again and playing at a high level, because a lot of good things can come from that. And definitely the Clippers are looking for that as well. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. As always, check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis.